Hey, I'm Will Wheaton, and I have just received a dump truck full of gold bullion to tell you to watch the Scene Snobs.
Have you and your furry best friend ever been bored? We have a cure for that. Get your subscription box with our affiliate link now.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Scene Snobs Reviews. I am Mick Manhattan, one of your hosts on the Scene Snobs, and I'm reviewing the movie Clerks 3 today. It's the all-new Kevin Smith movie that's still kind of making its rounds. Of course, he takes it on tour so everybody can see it. And it's the third in the Clerks trilogy, if you will. And we're going to get a little more into that and use of the word trilogy and things like that. So, but it tells the story of our favorite clerks, Dante and Randall, and later in life, they're nearing 50. They own the store, of course. We saw that after the second one. And Randall has a massive heart attack. And through that, he starts to have a realization that he's really done much with his life. And he decides through the support of Dante to make a movie, something that he feels he could definitely do about his life and his time as a clerk. At the Quick Stop, and very meta in the sense of like the first Clerks and things like that. And there's a lot of reprisals, a lot in this movie. Really well done. So he goes out, sets out to make a movie. Well, Dante deals with some inner turmoil, and I what I want to do with this is, because I'm going to get a little more in depth with this review. I'm going to review it, give my rating. Non-spoiler. Then I will tell you when I'm going to start talking about spoilers, because I know a lot of people have had a chance to see it. It is on VOD now. You can buy the movie. I absolutely think you should if you're a Kevin Smith fan, especially in Clerks. I love the Clerks movies. I grew up with the Clerks movies. The first one, of course, and the second one, which I think a lot of people tend to attack more than they should, because it's a really well done movie. And I think for the time in its life and what it was, I think a lot of people are expecting it to be like the first one, and it shouldn't have been, and it wasn't. And it was the whole tale of like where they were at in their lives. I thought it was fantastic, and the same can be said with Clerks 3. So I will go into spoiler territory, and then after that I'll read off comments. So guys, feel free to comment along, and then we'll go into it. But yeah, I had a chance to sit down. I really wanted to go see it, and they were playing at a couple of places here, but I didn't have a chance to on the dates that they were doing it. And it was just playing too far away from me, and it wasn't conducive to like what was going on in the moments. But I'm so glad once I saw that it was on VOD, I bought it. I straight up bought a digital copy. I will be buying, because I own the other two on Blu-ray. I will be buying it on Blu-ray, 100%. I fell in love with this movie. So, my initial reaction to this movie is I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed where they're at in their lives. It's very personal. You can tell Kevin Smith. He's very much in it as Silent Bob, of course, as he should be. All the characters that were in it was great to see, especially if you're a fan of all of these movies, the entire VUSQ universe. So seeing that and connecting with it and where they're at now, everything made sense. They connected it all throughout. It was wonderful. I absolutely adored this movie. I thought it was fantastic. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a Kevin Smith movie with a few quirks here and there, and maybe a couple of things that missed or didn't work. But like, that's the thing I love about Kevin Smith and his style of filmmaking, is he puts together the stories he wants to tell, and they're very heartfelt, they're very caring, and he's got a good heart in them. And that's what I love. And that's what these did. And to see where they're at now, Dante and Randall, and what they're dealing with, threw me for a bit of a loop. I wasn't expecting some of it. I wanted to go into this sort of blind, not really know much of the story other than the trailer that I saw. So when I got there and I found there was a story and what was actually going on, it threw me for a bit of a loop, but I did like the movie. And I think that Kevin Smith might have made inadvertently, I know he never planned to do one. Making a sequel to the Clerks movies are, for him, sort of it was just like kind of came up. A lot of people always felt and said that, like, oh, he's going to tap that resource or he's going to go back to the well every time. And I think that is completely unfair to say. I think Kevin Smith makes a movie and wants to make, whether they do well or not. And honestly, there's not one that I dislike totally or hate or in any way, shape, or form. I really enjoy him. I like what he did with Tusk. I like what he did with Yoga Hosers. Now, I'm not the biggest fans of those movies, but the guy set out to make horror movies, and he did. And they're better than a lot of the stuff that you see on the independent scene. And he put a lot of care and thought into it. I would have loved to have seen Moose Jaws. I wish he would do it. To finish out that Canadian trilogy and kind of go with that. But yeah, when it comes to his movies, I absolutely love them, and I love their connection and the stories that he's sewing together through all these people in New Jersey, and it's just wonderful. And I liked Reboot as well. I thought Reboot was funny and really handled that. But so we get Clerks now, which I know he plays Silent Bob. We can argue that all day long, but I think the most connected he is with any characters are Randall and Dante, and I don't think he'd argue that in one bit. That is his connection to all of the VUSQ universe. Silent Bob is just a character he created that he could play. I think there's a lot of Dante in him, but I also think there's a lot of Randall. I think Randall represents his younger side. Dante represents that sort of older side, that side that he, where he realized he needed to be more responsible and wanted to go with. And you see that is very evident here. And the thing that I love about this, all of them, is they all represent Kevin Smith's life throughout. And it's nothing new. I'm not explaining anything to you guys that you guys don't know as fans. But, to see how raw he got with Clerks 3, and to talk about friendships, the people who helped put him where he is, the place that helped put him where he is today, his massive heart attack. And I love that he was kind of giving pointers to people through it. Like, the advice Amy Sedaris' doctor character gives, and, about a diet and stuff like that. It works within the story, and we see where it's foreshadowed later and such, but he's actually giving some sort of advice. Like, I've been through this. I know. And it was a beautiful, beautiful story. My rating for this is 4 out of 5 mics, 4 out of 5 microphones. I would probably give it more. There were a couple of things here and there that, kind of took me, back a little bit, that there were just more story things that he kind of put into it that I don't know. I guess it kind of took me off guard a little bit, and I didn't love the choice and the direction that he took, but I still respect it, 100% respect it. But 4 out of 5 star mics, I give this, and if anybody knows me, I don't just give those away. But yeah, I thought he did a fantastic job in this. I absolutely loved it. Now let's get into a little bit of spoiler territory. This movie hit me right in the heart. Completely. And guys, remember, I said spoilers, so if you don't want to know, or you want to wait or whatever and come back and watch this, then do that. So we get Randall, who has the heart attack. Now, I'm from New Jersey. I lived in Atlantic Highlands, very close to where the Quick Stop was. That was later in life when I was an adult, and it was for a short period of time. But I grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey, and I moved to Carteret, New Jersey, in the smaller town. And so Jersey is a very big thing for me. I know, whenever I watch these movies, all the little in jokes into New Jersey, I know them, and goes all the way back to the beginning. So all the little funny stories and the places that specifically the places he's talking about. I've known them, I've been there, I've seen them. And also growing up in the 90s and wanting to be a filmmaker, you're from New Jersey, you're compared to Kevin Smith. And then me, that was never a bad thing. He was a Jersey kid who got out and he did the dream, man. And I love that. And I love that about him. And I've always looked up to him and respected him in that sense. And I think he's fantastic in many, many realms, especially in the geek world. And I do this and I do the podcast and more, as he was a big inspiration for that, the Smodcast and everything else. And like just what he built, like, Kevin Smith is like Mecca, when it comes to, a guy like me. Well, as many of you know, one of our snobs, my best friend of 26 years now, passed away in 2021 from cancer. And it devastated me. It hit me so hard. And it had been for a long time, still does. I think about it and it really hits hard and it hurts. And watching this movie, and again, like I said, spoilers, and seeing that Randall is trying to make something of himself, who we always consider ourselves like the Dante and Randall. We were clerks at the same video store. We worked together. We were best friends in high school. We were best friends all throughout. We always were together. We first call on every holiday or birthdays, stuff like that, even though we had wives and stuff. So like that was just the type of friendship we had. He always cheered me on, wanted to be a filmmaker, wanted to do this. He supported me in the Snobs. And I always, I love him. Len, we've talked about him on the show before. He was one of the hosts and such. And so when in this movie, when Randall has a heart attack, and I'm a big guy and I always worry about that, that kind of kicked me in the gut a little bit. But then to see that Dante dies of a heart attack later and how Randall has to deal with that and the guilt and things like that, a lot of this was eye-opening to me. A lot of this was hitting me really hard. It felt so much like what I was going through. And it was just so heartfelt and so wonderfully handled and beautiful. And everything all the way throughout was just fantastic. And I truly appreciate Kevin Smith for making this, because again, I said earlier, I think he made inadvertently the perfect trilogy, only because he was honest with it. He was genuine. Like I said, I think he really made these because this is what you're going to go back to if you're going through your life and you're dealing with different things. And that's how what is shown in all of your stories. Every movie that you make is somehow shown, the experiences you've had in your life, especially Clerks, his first movie, which is very, and then Clerks 2, which is very much about him being in there and having a kid and things like that and more. And then the third movie, him dealing with his heart attack, stuff like that. Like, it just is all beautifully bookended, sandwiched together. It's just a wonderful, wonderful story. I absolutely love this. Again, for anybody stuck around for the spoilers portion of this, I give it 4 out of 5 mics. 100% going to get it. I'm going to buy it on Blu-ray. I love seeing it on VOD. It was truly a fantastic experience, and the story really hit home and made me feel really good. So, Clerks 3 is a fantastic movie. Go check it out. You should absolutely go see it. You can buy it now. Go support. This man should make the money back on this. It's absolutely deserves it. I loved it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I'm Mick Manhattan from the Scene Snobs. I will be hosting next Tuesday night on the 25th at 8 p.m. Bloody Summer Camp live commentary with the cast and creator. But before then, from 8 to 8:30, I will have a one-on-one interview with Felissa Rose, one of the stars of Bloody Summer Camp, and of course, her icon Angela from Sleepaway Camp. So go check that out. I'll have links in that to more, so you can go see it. We'll be sharing it out. And if you missed last Friday, we had a live ghost hunt. It was a lot of fun. It's up on our YouTube channel. You can go over there and check it out anytime you want. We absolutely had a great time. And this week we had on the Scene Snobs podcast, the director and one of the stars of The Accursed. It's a great horror movie. It just came out last Friday. You should go check it out. And we had a great conversation with them. So make sure to go join in for more. Remember, everybody, if you're watching this live or you're going to check this out later, on tomorrow, every Friday we have our Scene Snobs Morning Drive live show, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern. Go check that out. And we truly appreciate you. We love that you guys are jumping on and supporting us and stuff like that. And just want to say thank you so much. So stick around for the credits, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Take care. I want to thank our awesome patrons. Tim, Paul, Stacy, Matt, Aaron, Chris S, Chris H,
Dan, John B, Ron, Jason, AJ, Radar, and John W. We love you all. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, you help us keep the lights on, and you guys are amazing. And if you guys want to join, we have 3 tiers available, all different prices, things like that, and it helps us go a long way in keeping these shows going and stuff like that. So patreon.com/thescenesnobs is where to go.
And make sure to check us out on our Discord. Join to be part of the Snobs Nation, where we all get together. We have fun conversation. We basically carry on all the stuff we do here, just in a better form and cooler format by some awesome moderators who we are super grateful for. So it'd be great to see you. Make sure to join up so you can stay in touch with your favorite snobs.
And guys, remember to hit that like button on this video if you're watching it. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to us. If you're not on YouTube right now, head over and check out the Scene Snobs on YouTube and subscribe, because it helps us go a long way, helps us, with producing these shows and monetizing and things like that. We have great shows like, of course, the Scene Snobs Podcast live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. The Scene Snobs Morning Drive live show, which is brand new, but it's on Fridays from 7 to 10 a.m. And then we have other shows pop up like Real Combat, Does It Suck, Geek Fest Live, Scene Snobs Movie Reviews, Plot Roast, and we have more coming.
And then we also have merch. Don't you want to assail yourself of some of the finest finery ever? Anywhere, perhaps historically? Well, pop on over to thescenesnobs.com. You can go from there to our merch store, and you can get some amazing stuff, because I know the morning drive is no good without that mug in the morning.
That's true. And we actually have just to note, we do have tumbler mugs that you can get with our logo on it. There's more available on the site. Go check it out. Guys, make sure you're following us on all social medias, because we do different things. We have different daily videos, stuff like that. Pictures, we're always popping up. Follow us at the Scene Snobs everywhere, or you can follow Casey at Plotimus21 on Instagram, at Casey the Madman on TikTok, at Twitter Night on Twitter. Yeah, so follow us, and we appreciate you guys watching, listening, and everything else. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.